Foundations of attachment theory. According to John, of course, what his foundations and his thought process was for that, or at least it's how the internet interprets it, and Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And kind of like, why do I have that up there? Well, we are really, I think, lucky that these theories were created decades ago. And they were each created with different ideas and thought processes and different societal events going on. You know, Maslow was developed in like 1943, and John Bowlby was developed in the 1950s. But yet they coincide with each other. And it's really an understanding of how these theories work on a macro and a micro level. So how do they work within our society? How do they work within our family units? How do they work within our community? The culture aspect of it all. And how does it work within the individual? And the ability to take each of these theories and apply them to your client is so very important, because I don't think one theory works for one client. In fact, I think if we take a lot of these theories and kind of mismatch them together, that really works for our client. And again, it's the ability to understand what is going on a macro level and a micro level. And to be honest, it's not just with the client, because they're not raised in a silo. They were raised in a society, but their parents are raised in a society in an era. And we have to have the ability to understand that era that their parents were raised, to kind of try to help them work through any trauma of their childhood or issues of their childhood. And so John's foundation, he's saying that children have an innate drive to form attachments because these bonds ensure safety and survival, right? And a caregiver's responsiveness and availability to provide that secure base from which the child can explore the world. A child really needs to know that they can go out and they can come back, and they have a safe environment. That they have their emotional needs met, their physical needs, their psychological needs, their physiological needs, like all their needs. And of course, it's not perfect, right? But the majority of the time, their needs are met. This allows them to go and explore, take some risks, and know if mistakes happen, there's no huge negative impact, that we're there to secure them and to show them that we love them. And it's okay. And then he said early attachment experience shape internal working models of relationships, influencing how individuals perceive and interact with others throughout their life. And we already know this too, right? Because early childhood development, and it truly starts in the womb, but your early childhood, toddler years, your teenage years, all of this helps you to form relationships and attachments in the future. And we want those to be healthy and secure, because if they are healthy and secure, we're going to have better adults to raise a better generation that will, in turn, if we're thinking of this economically wise, it will raise our GDP as a society. And that is really an important factor, of course, for any country. So to me, like, getting this right, or getting this as right as we can get it as parents and as a society, is so important. But so that is kind of the foundation for John. And then you have Maslow, who somewhat has the same thing, but I think John would argue that the secure attachment to the caregiver is crucial to fulfilling a child's physiological and safety needs, which Maslow has on his hierarchy of needs as like a second level. And so the basis of attachment theory, is that it emerged as a response to the need of a deeper understanding of the emotional bonds critical to human development. At the time, it was groundbreaking in emphasizing the importance of caregiver relationships in shaping not only childhood experiences, but long-term health, emotional health, and relation patterns. So these perspectives, they laid the foundation for modern child psychology, parenting strategies, and therapeutic practices. So again, like all this stuff will interact and come together and work together. And it's still like, I think it's so exciting. Maybe other people don't think it's so exciting, but I'm going to continue down this path of attachment theory. I think I'll kind of touch a little basis on Maslow and what he thought, because again, these all, like with Sigmund Freud, these all come together, and we can take parts of each for each of our clients. And then I'll probably will touch on Freud, because I do like Freud a lot. But then I'm going to touch on Mary Ainsworth, because she helped to have key contributions to attachment theory, which is really great, because then we could look at, what's some unsecure attachments, and what's the secure attachment, and let's research it in that way. And I believe Mary did so more with an actual research where parents were brought in with their kids, compared to John, who did it with an event that had occurred out in society, and he was able to do it really in real time, because Mary did it in real time, right? But it was in a lab, and so John was able to do it in real time, not in a lab, just making observations and talking with people, and I think that is an exciting part of it. Anyways, so question for you guys is, what do you think about this? What do you think about inner workings of maybe some psychological theories, but how they come together in the macro and the micro look? Really love to hear your comments. Just drop them below.